Man, it seems like independent women do the most complaining.
When men do what they're supposed to do.
Why every man gotta be a yes dear ass?
Hey, come on, you guys.
You're ignorant. I'm protesting.
Are your dreams, son?
Same dream.
Also, T.I. We're gonna talk about T.I. and Samant said he lost all respect, or starting to lose all respect for T.I. We'll wrap and talk about that, and then we'll talk about the Maryland rapper Gonu. Hope I'm saying his name right, no disrespect.
Okay.
Who had his funeral in a nightclub, standing up, propped up in front of the world to see. But let's start off. Let's fire it off with the T.I. joint. Let's get it popping. Let's get it rolling with the T.I. situation. Now, a video went viral the other night. Of Rapper T.I. Right, Rapper T.I. Pretty much going at a female comedian. Her name was Lauren Knight, a local area comedian. Now, the young lady maintains that T.I., started heckling her first. The video came out. T.I. went in. We know at the end of the day that they, patched everything up, supposedly. But your thoughts, though, Sam, man, what's your thoughts on the whole situation? Let's hear it on the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast.
As it pertains to T.I. and his comedy career, I think it should be all but over, and that's just my opinion.
Woo, damn.
That's just my opinion, and here's why. Because I feel like there's a sense of entitlement in the state of Georgia, in the city of Atlanta, in particular, when it comes to T.I. and his comedy. I don't know that personally. This is my opinion from what I'm looking at offhand. I see that because you look at a comedian within his ranks right now, whether he was doing sets for a year or whatever the case, he is a general novice in the comedy game.
Right.
For him to be a novice in the comedy game, how does he get 30-minute sets on places he's not even supposed to be headlining? How is he able to walk into certain comedy stores and comedy clubs and get 30-minute sets? That's almost unheard of in the comedy community. You don't get to go up there and do that. You see comedies or comics that open up for headliners, whether you go to a show, whatever the case may be, and it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, things like that. You don't see 30-minute sets on shows that you don't headline. So that's crazy. And then another thing that is absolutely a no-no is heckling fellow comedians, especially after you do a set. It's just a bunch of unprofessionalism. Top it all off, icing on the cake. You heckle this woman, heckle this woman, and then she jabs you.
Ooh, hit him.
Jabs you.
He go nuts.
And you lose your fucking mind.
Yeah.
I just think that he doesn't have the skin for comedy, because if you look at some of the heavy hitters, it reminded me, dog, of Martin. Martin back in the day, he was on Def Comedy Jam, one of our favorites.
Right.
And MC Light's boyfriend is in the audience, right?
Right.
And he's like, oh, yo, we got MC Light, we got so-and-so in the audience, you know who her girl is, or his girl is MC Light.
Right.
And they go crazy. He's like, yeah, and I used to fuck her. And they lose their mind. And the dude gets up and starts laughing, and he starts just breaking it down on how he used to bust MC Light down. And everybody went crazy, but it got that disrespectful.
Right.
You have to have thick skin in this game, T.I. I don't think he can. If you think that her asking you a question about the allegations is bad, what do you think a seasoned vet, when it comes to this shit, is going to do to you in some real situations? I don't know. I just think that it was unauthentic to begin with. Like I said, I could be wrong, my opinion. I think he just move on from it.
He definitely lost his cool. You know what I mean? He lost his cool. Now you're going out and you're saying that you think that T.I. should be pretty much like he should stop comedy. Like his skin is not thick enough for comedy. That's what you're pretty much saying.
Yep.
Wow. Well, here's my thing, man. Here's my thing, right, with the whole T.I. situation, right? I think he exposed himself. And then we actually had Bob Sumner in here, and I think one of us asked him about, would T.I. bomb? And I think this is like his first official, like, actually bombing, and he wasn't even on stage to do it. And I think, he even said it too, and I said this on a video that I did, where he said that I'm a superstar. He feels like he's above everybody in every room that he's in. Now, there's not necessarily nothing wrong with that, but in certain cases, you got to know to play your role. You know what I mean? You never outshine the master. You know what I mean? And in that particular situation, you're a comedian. Yeah, you're T.I. at the end of the day, but you're not, like, it's going to become a day when somebody's going to challenge you, and the young lady challenged him, and she hit him where it hurts, and she ruffled his feathers. Now, I'm not going to go out like Samant and say that he should be finished with his comedy career, but I think this is just the beginning of a long, hard road, because when you had the comedians that came out, right, that were chastising him or warning him, like Little Nels and the Godfreys, they weren't necessarily trying to shut him down. They're just letting him know, like, look, we had to kind of go through like a rites of passage to get here. Yeah. We had to go through these, clubs without getting paid. We had to go through, getting heckled. We had to go through going up there and forgetting our routines and, people pulling guns out, all the stuff they had to go through. You just sit up in this privileged position like you that man, you that dude, but just know that at a point in time, no matter how, successful or rich you think you are, shit's gonna hit the fan. And the shit hit the fan. Now, what makes it worse for me, and I'm gonna ask you this too, you think it was worse because it was a female, or do you think that either way it was just kind of bad? Do you think that like heightens it because she was a female?
I think that the level of disrespect he was throwing at her because she was a female plays a part in it. When he was talking about take your wig off, and then he said he didn't call her a bitch. I'll give you $1 million if you see me call you a bitch, and then the video come out.
Oh,
saying,
man.
Bitch. It's like, damn, T.I.
Man.
It's just like that kind of stuff adds into the female role, but I don't think him just kind of calling himself a comedian and being in a comic game now and overreacting to a situation where, one, he shouldn't have been disrespectful as a comic to another comic on stage, and two, losing your cool when the comic claps back. That's just, it don't look good, man.
Yeah.
It don't look good at all. And I don't know a comedy club that will look at him and go, yeah, I think he's good for my club right now. I think he did himself a disservice. Let me ask you this, because I said this. Mm-hmm. Outside of Atlanta, and we've talked about this before, in New York, Chicago, L.A., Jersey, wherever the case may be, somewhere where it's a neutral crowd, and T.I.'s coming in, and they're just solely looking at T.I. off the comedy and nothing that he did musically or in Hollywood. How do you think he fares when they start giving him the reaction that he doesn't like?
Based on what I've seen from T.I., and it was only one, he wasn't funny to me. He was almost like he flows good. Like he tells a good story. He's been a good storyteller. I mean, as a rapper,
great narrator.
He'll almost wore you to sleep. You know what I mean? I didn't hear nothing funny from that set that was out there. Don't mean that he might not have nothing, funny out there. But something else that hit me, I'm kind of remembering right now when he was actually on the stage, right? And he was sitting in front of the young lady, and then she was like, "This is hard what we do." He was like, "No, it ain't hard. It ain't hard." I'm like, dog, see, you disrespecting the craft. You think, and a lot of people do this because somebody else did it or this person did it, that I could just come in there and do it at a high level without going. You can do it at a high level, but you got to go through the pain, the struggle, the messing up to get there. And that's what I think, like, again, the comedians that was saying, look, all right, dog, slow down now. Slow down a little bit. Just, it came to a situation where it was just like it was destined to happen. Outside of Atlanta, let's talk about that whole aspect. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a totally different ball game because I don't think people are not going to look at T.I. and say, he's not good. I think it's now the opposite. He's created the opposite now. They know that they're going to bring, the crowds are going to come out now to see T.I. simply because of his name, and it's almost turned into a situation that people are probably like kind of preying on his downfall in a sense. Like, I can't wait. Yeah. I think people are waiting to see like this dude is going to, bomb on stage. He's going to get booed, heckled, and we're here for it. And I'm telling you, man, that's how people are out there thinking. And but I'm going to go back to this though for you, Sam, man. Mm-hmm. Have you lost respect for T.I.?
Personal respect as a man, I can't say that because I don't know that man personally. But from a career standpoint, a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And it'll be unfortunate if that brother happens to see this and reacts off of this.
I know, right?
All the good fucking shit we did. It'd be unfortunate, but it'd be what it be. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm standing on what I'm saying. As an artist, as a rapper, dope. As a Hollywood, dope. Two things that I really felt like T.I. flourished in and can do this shit for a long time. He was dope. As a speaker, as a social media personality, I think he was dope.
Right.
I think it was cool. Second, he started dipping into podcasting, and it's no hate. It's just when you start separating the artist and putting him into an interview seat, when the interview seat and the artist should be kind of one and the other. It's supposed to be like the point guard and the forward, you know what I mean? Stockton and Malone kind of shit, you know what I'm saying? Give and go kind of shit. You lost that magic when people started dabbing and dipping over in the shit that they shouldn't have, and then we started capping for the shit, saying this, oh no, they're talented, they could do what they want. And then we started seeing what happened to these motherfuckers that started doing this shit and garnering and getting in there and kind of vulturing it and then dipping off and leaving it for what it was. I think that comedy for T.I. is the same thing. And that's where I'm kind of like, damn,
nah,
bro.
you hit it on the head with that one. And the crazy part about it, I was watching when we had Master B coming on, so I wanted to watch a few interviews, and one of them I picked was the T.I. interview they did on Expeditiously, which I don't think T.I. is doing podcasting no more. But you know, I watched it, and you know, I was looking, and then I was reading the comments at the same time, and like, if you go look at that video now, it's at least probably 200 comments where people are like, "Yo, T.I. is not a good interviewer. He keeps interrupting them." They're like, "Oh man, Master P got so much patience to deal with this dude because he's just, you know, cutting him off every chance you get, talking more than him, and it's like you're disrespecting the craft, bro." The same thing with comedy. Like, people feel like you're disrespecting the craft. And just like that video and that comment section and the people humbled him, he got humbled in the comedy arena. He got humbled in the comedy arena by an amateur comedian that said, all right, you want to go there with me? Shit, I don't give a damn if you T.I. I'm going there with you. Matter of fact, she threw the Crime Stopper joint at him and everything. It was like, dang, that shit crazy.
Put in work, and this is what happened.
Yeah.
Somebody that's gonna hit him even harder doing that. But you brought up Godfrey and you brought up Lunel. You talked about how they had to come through the ranks, right? You didn't mention one important thing.
Right.
That they also had to suck.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Yeah, that's a good one.
They had to learn they shit.
That's a good one.
And see that they had to be humbled enough to know that they had to get better.
Yep.
Is T.I. willing to humble himself and know, okay, in certain arenas, people may not think I'm as funny as my ego thinks I'm funny. I got to get better. And if that does happen and he gets humbled, is he going to get up and go, yeah, I want to do this because I love it? Or is that love going to fall off like a motherfucker falling off a skateboard who throws a skateboard? So, you know what? Let me throw this shit in the garage and move on to something else.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a good one.